Halt! Summons from Lord Seymour. Come with us.
Yeah, that's gonna work.
We have nothing to discuss with Maester Seymour.
Yeah, so out of our way.
Lord Seymour's commands must be obeyed. You will come.
I warn you. The Maester doesn't need you alive.
Boom. 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 Yeah, I don't know why he says that. Why would they need us? Like, why would they need us, but also dead? He says. Like, at this point, Seymour doesn't even care about us. Like, we're not really... I don't know, I guess it's hard to say for sure, but... Thinking about the conversations we have after this, and he never really has need for us anymore. Right. Here's another example of an enemy that gives you the thing you need. He gives you lunar curtains. I should mix something with 3 stars just for fun. Let's see, how about a high pillow potion? Freedom X! So we have 0 MP cost. I don't know what else that did. Because that's already what it's already what they do, right? Or does it only hit 1? No, that's exactly what it does, so I don't know what else that does. Something cool. Yo, thank you for the 9 months. Also, Lavitz gave us a 21-month primer earlier, and Livestream donated $100 million. That's what it says. That's actually insane. He said, well said, words to live by. Thank you, man. I give it a $100 million. Can you be poisoned? Oh, the Moogle's casting the spell. I forgot the higher level spells they cast with you. Armor break. Okay, that works. I should have done some leveling up before this. That is practically every dollar that's ever existed. How much money is there in the world? Is there a Google for that? It says something like couple trillion or something. 40 trillion. I thought trillion came to mind. I didn't know how many trillions though. Yeah, I really love this song, Super Fuzz. Really good. Lost music. Always singing along to this one. So if I cast Protect on everyone and cast Cheer a couple times, this boy is toast. Because all he does is physical attacks. He does have that counter that's really annoying because it does half of your health. Oh! Even Yuna survived. Everyone still has Protect, right? Protect and Shell last a really long time in this game. It's so nice. You don't have to keep casting it. Which, I mean, it's a give and take because Protect and Shell last a really long time, but you have to cast them manually on each character unless you use a mix or a special something. So, I like that better. Instead of having to cast it constantly on everyone. You just have to do it once, but it takes a bit longer to set up. That's why a lot of the fights in this game feel like a setup. Like, once you set it up, you're fine, but it's getting the setup is the hard part in a lot of the fights. Nice block. 2.6 billion? What? What do you mean? Isn't that less than trillion? Oh, you meant to say trillion. Wait. Why is there less money now? Are we burning money? Hey, Kamari, what can you do that's fun? I forgot to teach you Brad Breath. About Wacko.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about Apple? Why? You should have added Livestream. Wasn't he the one that said that? I mean, Apple's not the biggest company, though, right? Yeah, no, I was talking physical money, because that's a lot different than, like, if you took, hey, that's mean. If you took all the money, like all the corporations in the world, and added up how much they are worth, then you'd be in the dodecabillions or something. But the amount of, like, physical money that exists is kind of an interesting question. Wait, Apple is the biggest company in the world, really? I didn't know that. I knew they were up there. I didn't know they were literally the biggest. Could you? Look at how quickly I can get set up again. It's kind of nuts. Microsoft actually isn't that big in comparison. Like, there's a lot of companies that own a ton of stuff that are bigger. Microsoft is third biggest? Oh, okay. What do they own? Like, what does Microsoft own that makes them so big? Other than just being Microsoft. Windows and Xbox. Xbox is like so small in comparison, I think. Broccoli's net worth is completely unmeasurable. True, true. We were talking about the size of companies in terms of gaming a little while ago, and it was funny to hear some of the comparisons. I think a lot of people think Square Enix is bigger than they are. Square is pretty small in comparison. And then there's like, what's the big mobile company? Tencent? Tencent is like half the gaming economy. They're like so huge, it's crazy. Most people haven't even really heard of them. But they just own everything. I healed the boss. He countered my heal! What a jerk, I was being nice. Yeah, if you look at the numbers too, it really puts into perspective how big the Xbox acclamation was of Bethesda Activision. Activision Bethesda is like so big. It's pretty wild that a company owns them. Given how big they are. Does delay work on him? One smart thing I could do here is bring in everyone just to do a thing so they get experience. I think I actually have gotten everyone in now. Because Waka didn't attack, Lulu didn't attack, Riku stole at the very beginning of the fight. I love the sound effect this thing makes. Ooh. Also, one thing that's really cool... Hey, can I learn that? I don't think I ever tried learning it from him. I love how the camera angle changes over the course of the fight. It's such a cool little detail. I don't know if we had talked about that before, but... makes the battle feel a bit more dynamic. Especially these longer battles. Wish I had Dispel. Put in perspective how big Apple is, they make more money from video games than the top 5 or 10 gaming companies combined. And they're 30% cut on the App Store for mobile games in a market where they have 30% of phones. That does make a lot of sense. They get a 30% cut of the biggest section of one of the biggest markets. I only have one Phoenix down? Oh. I'll hit Yuna. They make more money off of gaming than gaming companies just because they get a split of the apples. That's hilarious. Oh my god. That really does put it in perspective. They don't even make, I mean they do make some games, but like they're not even like a gaming company and they make more gaming money because of the split they get. Because the mobile market is so huge. That kind of makes that whole that court case. Wasn't it Google? I think it was Google, right? Whoever took Apple to court and said, like, we don't want you taking a cut anymore. Oh, it was Epic. That's right. Epic took Apple to court and they were like, we don't want you to take as much of a cut anymore because blah, blah, blah. That puts in perspective why they did that, because like when they're making that much money, you might as well try to get a cut of that, right? Like, you might as well try to get a cut of that pie when the pie is that big. They have more elixirs than ethers. Well, from what I heard, and don't take this anywhere other than here because I have no idea what I'm talking about, but from what I heard, Apple was like totally in the right and Epic was just trying to get a piece of the pie because it was like their game was sold on their store. They're allowed to do whatever they want, but Epic was just like, well, they're making a lot of money and we don't like that. That's what I heard. But there could have been more to it than that. But it sounded like Epic just didn't like losing money, but we're like totally in the wrong. I mean, you can want the money all you want, but you still have to follow the rules if you're on the Apple Store. But yeah, it was more of I think they wanted to start like a. It was okay back in the day when Apple owned the store because they like created it, but now mobile gaming is bigger to where not one company should own the way that almost everyone gets it. You know what I mean? It'd be like if PlayStation had ended up being the gaming company. Like if Microsoft didn't throw their hat in and Nintendo went out of business and Sony was the only way to get console gaming, to get a console gaming experience, there'd probably be some kind of discussion as to whether or not they kind of have a monopoly on it and whether or not they should be taking such a big cut out of games from the PlayStation Store. This is kind of like the same thing. It's like everyone pays Apple when Apple is just kind of the one to do it first, not necessarily like, you know, you may even say the same thing about Steam too, although now Steam has enough competition to where I wouldn't really say that. But Yeah, I mean, Apple has competition, but wasn't there a reason that they had to be on the Apple Store, though? I don't know. This coming from Epic, who has, like, the worst gaming, user base. the worst, like, the Epic Game Store has been trashed ever since it was released, so I don't know if it means as much coming from them. I don't know, it's an interesting topic, but in terms of the lawsuit, it seems like they were just completely in the wrong. But the discussion is still there as to whether or not, like, Apple kind of has a monopoly and whether or not it should be done a different way. But as you said, like, Android exists, like, it's not that people have to put on the Apple Store, it's that the user base is so big that they'd be stupid not to, not that they legitimately have to. It kind of falls into that discussion of, like, is it fair to be mad at Apple for being successful, you know? Is it fair to be mad at Apple for having the biggest user base? They're kind of the "why are you booing, I'm right" situation. You know? Oh my god, look at the turns Yuna gets and everyone else doesn't get because they're slowed and she's hasted. Who has the biggest user base? Android does, really? Wow. Well then what's the argument even about? Also, I like how this boss has, like, no death animation, like there's no, like, big epic explosion, because this enemy is based on a regular enemy later, so they just use the regular death animation. It's kind of weird after that super long epic fight, he just kind of... What is it in America? I'm curious. Because when I was growing up, it was obviously all Apple, but I saw a slow shift in, like, at least my friends that went to Android. Like 50-50? That makes sense. Because, like I said, it felt like a slow... And me personally, too. I switched to Android, like, right after college? Maybe even earlier? No, I think it was right after college. It was about the time I got my own house.
This isn't the way in?
That way leads down into the valley.
Wow, you know your way around, yeah? Huh?
I don't understand that, but okay. Yeah, it felt like a slow shift. When I was in high school, though, oh my god. Everyone had an iPhone. iPhone, iPod, iPad, iShoe, everything. iCarly. No, not really. Like, I would say... I would say we were like a middle-class school, if that makes sense. There was 2 schools in our district, and one was very obviously rougher than ours. It was pretty obvious that That one was bigger, it had way more students, and it was a lot rougher. And ours was only like our classes were only like 100 kids. But it wasn't a private school, it was still a public school. But it was a bit nicer, so like it was a bit of a nicer school, but it certainly was not the Richie Rich school. We had there was another district by us that was like way kids getting dropped off in Bentley's style district. So we definitely weren't on that level. And I would say that probably, well, it depends on what year we're talking about, because I was going to high school during the cell phone revolution. So you could say every year that the percentage changed dramatically, but I would say when cell phones were starting to get popular, it was probably about 50-50. 50% of kids had them, 50% of kids didn't. But the kids that had them had iPhones. You had an iPhone. That was it. Like, or you had during then there weren't even iPhones, but you had an iPod. You had the latest iPod, and then, actually, in terms of cell phones, I had a Razr. And I feel like, what was the popular phone back then? I mean, I guess the Razr. The BlackBerry was the Richie Rich phone. No one had that. But everyone had an iPod, is what I should be saying, because iPhone didn't exist yet. Everyone had an iPod. I remember one... My wife and I were talking about this yesterday. She had a friend who had a Zoom and was bragging to everyone about her Zoom, and everyone behind her back was like, "She's so lame." But she was like bragging about it all the time. Guys, check it out. I think I had one MP3 player that wasn't an iPod. And then I got an iPod Shuffle, which I hated, honestly. And then I had an iPod Touch sometime later. You loved your Zune, it was so good someone stole it. Did they steal it and then throw it away? Did anyone have a Walkman? Rusty sword. I have to grab that for something later. That's a pretty scary enemy. What should we do about it? Oh yeah. You still have a Walkman? My husband is a Walkman. I went to the zoo, I had to do a lot of walking, man. My wife told me to take a Walkman, so I went to Best Buy. She's still mad, I don't know why. Doesn't make any sense.
Where are we? The faith is inside. As are the fiends.
Hey, this where...
Where? What?
The summoner I guarded on my first pilgrimage. died here. Yuna, let's go. The faith awaits.
Really cool Lulu moment there. This is all optional too, which is cool. How long does a regular playthrough for this game take? Man, it's kind of hard to say when I played through it so much. I mean, like, extremely casually for the very first time, maybe like 30, 40 hours. Just to get to the end. And then there's quite a bit of other content to do, depending on which version you play. But I would say like 40-ish hours. Plink, plonk, plink, plink, plinkety plonk. Oh! How's your pot? Alright, which eye is it gonna be? Top right. Hey, see you, Jolly. Yeah, it's just total RNG from what I remember. Maybe there's a way to tell? I don't think so, though. I think it's all RNG. I did not mean to do that. Oh, those are immune. Wow. They stole all my MP. Stop it. Still have Brotherhood. So these guys are the first enemies that teach you reflect mechanics, if you didn't already know. I need more ethers. I need more ethers. I need more Phoenix Downs. Oops, I meant the armor break. Oh man, the old battery throttle thing. I would like to say that it's good that companies can't get away with anything. but I feel like they can get away with anything. Whenever you see something like that, you're like, yeah, justice is served, but it's like, what else have they been doing this whole time that we don't know about? Do we just know about this one thing that came out? I mean, if you want faith in corporations destroyed, just look at internet providers. Some of the stuff they do is outrageous. That's like very well known that they do it. Back in 2009, Apple dodged enough taxes that it would have covered public college tuition for every student for 2 years. Yeah, that's why I always get so mad when stuff happens in, like, the gaming space, and I truly feel like it's bad for everyone. Because you can sit here all day and complain about microtransactions and stuff, but at the end of the day, most of the stuff they do, it's because it makes money. And, you know, as Magic Man always says, please, someone think of this, the shareholders. But it's true. Companies have to make money, and in today's space, there's certain ways to make money. And we can still blame them, and we can still get mad at them, and it's not like it's not like we can just say, well, they have to make money, and then just allow them to do any horrible thing they want. But there is at least an argument to be made that, like, they have to make money, and they have to do some things that people aren't going to like. But I always get so frustrated with, like, the PlayStation Store or some of the stuff that Square Enix does, where it's like, not only is this bad for us, but I can see you losing money. Like, I just, this is awful for everyone. You're not making money, you're losing money, and it's worse for us, and it's just worse for everyone. It's just bad for everyone. The fact that the PlayStation Store doesn't have an ability to purchase things for people, when it would obviously make everyone money. Of course, that's more of a... I think the PlayStation Store is such an awful piece of software that they legitimately don't know how to implement it. But that's another story. But yeah, many things that I see happen where... Oh, nice, the spell. What was the other one? Reflect. 2 very useful spells. Pick this up and then go back and save, so I don't lose all that sphere grid progress. Yeah, that's what I get the most frustrated when I'm like, come on. This is bad for everyone. Ow. This is an optional cave, so enemies do be doing damage. I think I can turn half of them to stone. Facebook? What's a Facebook? I only know Meta. company of the future.
As you wish.
I can't armor break them because I have no MP. So I guess I'll just smack them. What the heck is a MySpace? Is that what you say when the girls always be getting up in your business asking for autographs? Say, this is MySpace. Not even if you've played Minecraft, just have you heard of Minecraft? Are you under the understanding that Minecraft is a thing that exists? Yes? Here's my number. Do these things do something bad when you attack them? Yes. Yes, they do. There's a lot of goony fights in this area. If you attack one of these things, it puts you to sleep and then they all cast fire, so you don't wake up. Why did you all attack Waka?
Mirror of light, reflect magical spite.
Why did all your things rhyme? So weird. I thought she was going to say, mirror, mirror on the wall. Wow, strike actually failed for the first time. Oh, this is going to be fun. Roblox is a mystery for me. It's one of the biggest games in the world that almost no one of us heard. That's because you're above the age of 10. You ever see a kid doing like a weird dance that you've never seen before? Yeah, that's basically Roblox. You don't know it unless you know it. No, see, Fortnite started as a young adult game, and then they pivoted towards kids once they realized kids liked it. Roblox was always for kids, that's why we haven't heard of it. Dang it, I shouldn't have done that. Wow. Yeah, we talked about Tencent earlier. Yo, Sora, how's it going? Lizards. Yowie. That's what they say in Roblox. Yowie. I need some, to go to a shop. Grandpa Gunducky. Just remember, I created you. Before you were just a Chocobo meme. I created your new name. You owe everything to me. I created you, but I can't destroy you. I need to put the Calm Lands theme on like my sleep playlist. It's so calming. Ow! Ow! I used to get kind of like depressed when I heard of how much money like companies made. Like just how unfathomable some of the money terms are. Holy moly, that damage. But it's kind of a different space. You can't let that stuff bother you, you know? It's a different world. But yeah, when you hear stupid crap like... There's that picture that was going around the internet for a while of like, I forget, wasn't it like Michael Jordan versus Bill Gates or something like that? It was like this whole sheet of like, if Michael Jordan took his shoes off and sold them, he could make what you make in 10 years. And just all these like ridiculous numbers of how ridiculously rich he was. And then at the very end of it, it says like, by the way, he makes 1/10,000th of what Bill Gates makes or something. Like it was just some like ridiculous number at the end. I was like, Bill Gates makes in a day what he's made his whole life. And you're like, what? Can't even like fathom these numbers. It's just insane. I wish he had ethers for these stupid enemies that drain my NP. Apple is worth the entirety of Canada.
Farewell.
And another thing about Amazon. Hey, look. It's ya boys. Let's see if they're immune. Yep. Riku has time to come in, steal, and then leave. Because just Riku things.
Take that!
Yeah, no, it's a weird position to be in, because it's really easy to just bash everyone that's rich. Like, just, if they have more money than you, bash. Right? Because we all have this idea that if we had that much money, there's all these things we would do with it that's better than what they're doing with it. I don't think that's exactly fair. Without being in that situation and knowing all the people that are below you that you have to spend money on, and having all of that prestige and people expect certain things out of you, I think it's a different world. But I think where people get really upset, where it's more like understandable, is when CEOs of these big companies don't pay their employees well, or do like a specific thing that we can look at and be like, yeah, that's just wrong. That's when people really get angry. I think that there's a general disdain for rich people, but it only reaches so far. But when you hear something that's like, oh, this rich CEO bought a 17th yacht, but fired half his workforce, and then that's when people get upset, and it's kind of more reasonable. I didn't mean to go this way, by the way, but I guess we'll watch this nice little cutscene.
Sometimes Yuna would just stare off into the distance. I finally understood why. She was saying goodbye to the places she'd never see again.
That's so sad. We made it. Now let's go back. Because I'm still doing this. Okay. Yeah, no, that's just more of a issue with economy in general, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Like, sometimes you talk to people and it just feels like they hate anyone that has more money than them. And that's like fair, but I don't know. I don't want to be that way, I guess. I don't want to have a disdain for people that I don't know. And I don't know their situation. I don't know, you know, really anything about them other than this one thing. I just feel like it's unfair to I think it's unfair to dislike anyone that you don't really know. You know what I mean? Perhaps that's a bit too wrong. But yeah, when you hear stories about CEOs not paying their workforce, or people that are already rich lie, cheating, and stealing to get even more rich, it's hard not to be really frustrated. I definitely feel that way too. I read stories like that and get kind of angry. And kind of think about... I mean, I think it's probably pretty common to think about what we would do different. I think about that pretty often, like, oh, if I were in charge, I would do this. If I had that much money, I'd give it to random people on the street. I'd walk into bars and just say, it's on me, boys, you know. All these, like, ideas we have if we had a lot of money. A snake boat for every home.